I'm just going to feed the birds and I'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to give a little update here on Christmas Eve, and I'm here in my new garden. Just put up some bird feeders. I'm gonna try and get a little bit better setup than that, but that's just what I have for now. We just moved in, and that's why there's been a bit of lack of videos recently, because we've just been moving, getting stuff from Ballater down here. I'm in Perthshire now. And the house up there was always a bit of a temporary place, and it wasn't the greatest for winter. It just didn't hold the heat and it was very damp, so we were super happy to have moved. And now, as maybe you can see behind me, this is just perfect. We're almost in the woodland. We have a loch right next to us here. It is just teeming with wildlife. I got a squirrel feeder back there and bird feeders here. We get red squirrels in the garden. And we got tons of birds. There was just a nuthatch on here. We had some great spotted woodpeckers as well. Jays flying over. And there's so much wildlife here, and just feel incredibly happy that we found this place. So we actually had a tiny bit of snow this morning. That was pretty cool, waking up on Christmas Eve, and I had to run out in the dark because the wind was picking up, and of course I had put one of my camo nets on the fence here. I was just a little bit scared that it was going to fly off. So got that. Put that in the shed and fed the birds. They're just going absolutely crazy here now. And I figured I'd just kind of go. Ooh, there's a nuthatch now. That was difficult to control the camera this way. Anyways, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. What's coming up in 2021? And since I moved to this place, and this is just teeming with wildlife, I really want to focus kind of locally more, and I really want to take you guys, kind of go a little bit deeper into the wildlife, show a little bit more of the wildlife that's here, the ecology, the behavior of different animals, and how it changes through the seasons. So right now, we got a little reed bed just at the beginning of the loch here. And now in the winter, every morning, I hear hundreds of starlings as they wake up from the roost and they take off. And every night, they do a little bit of murmuration just over our house, actually. It's absolutely incredible. And then they land in the little reed bed that's just at the edge of the loch here. And I've also found signs of beaver on some of the trees down here. So I got a trail camera up on one of the trees right now. There's one tree that's gnawed off and fallen over, and there's another tree right next to it that has started, and I've had the camera trap on it for over a week and it's still not felled it. So that's probably going to be an ongoing project as I live here, just trying to understand more of the behavior of these beavers and see if I can capture them on film and photograph them eventually. Other than that, in the woodland here we got roe deer. There's also fallow deer that kind of walks into the farm fields, and in the farm field over there we've had geese landing, and last week we had the grey lag and pinkfoot geese, but there was one particularly in there that I've never seen in Scotland before. I think it has been recorded, but I think it's fairly rare. That's an Egyptian goose. So last week I actually filmed a video of me showing how I get close to this Egyptian goose to photograph it. So that's going to be the next video that I release, and I'm not sure if I have time to edit it over between Christmas and New Year's, but if I do, I will release it as soon as possible, and if not, you'll get it early 2021. So I'll just stand here for a little bit and see if we can get these birds jumping right behind me. They're very tame, and now that it's like getting cold and frosty in the air, they will take a lot more chances, and it's so easy to photograph them because they will come right to the feeders behind me here, as you see now. I can basically stand right next to them and photograph them. I could probably go in and photograph them with a wide lens if I wanted to, so I might try that in an upcoming video. So I'm thinking for 2021, I want to do a little bit of varied content. So some on, like I've done before, with photography vlogs, but also going a little bit more deeper into the ecology of the animals that live here on the loch and are kind of associated around the loch in the woodlands and even things that come to my garden and the farm fields behind here. Follow them throughout the year, see how the season changes their behavior and what's around, where they're going to be at, and always then with an aspect of photography mixed into it. A bit of tips on how I get close to these things and how I photograph them. Other things to look out for in 2021 is, if you guys haven't heard of it, Wildlife Photo Chat with Ray Hennessy. He's got a podcast, really good podcast with some great guests on it, and he kindly invited me on the podcast. We just recorded it last weekend actually, so I think that's going to be coming up in early January, so stay tuned for that. And other than that, I'll also have a reoccurring post in the Digital Wildlife Photographic magazine. So check that out as well. We're gonna be putting some of my videos in the magazine with my photos and a bit of kind of context around the videos. I'm really excited about that. So do check it out. It's a really good magazine. Loads of inspiration and tips for wildlife photographers. So if you haven't seen it, then be sure to check it out on your app store. I'll leave you guys with a little bit more wildlife from my garden, and I hope everybody have a happy Christmas, and thank you guys so much for the support this year. Your views, your shares, your your comments, I really appreciate it, and an extra thank you to all my patrons who supported me this year. So have a Merry Christmas. The squirrel started gnawing on my dead cat. Alright, I'm gonna put this a little bit further away.